Human trafficking has become an international challenge. It is a $150 billion illicit industry affecting mostly women and children. Reports from the United Nations indicate that the most vulnerable are trafficked for domestic labor or sexual exploitation. Perpetrators often escape detection and thus do not bear the consequences for their acts. A young woman from Swakopmund this year was convicted for human trafficking as a first in Namibian history. The Prime Minister has reaffirmed of government's commitment to fight the social ill. Sarah Gongelwa Amadila said Namibia is formulating a standalone law on human trafficking which not only criminalizes the act but further makes provision for the protection of victims.
We have spent many years creating enabling legislation and drafting plans to execute our anti-trafficking activities. Now we must be determined to make a success of it.
Kongelwa Amadila noted that an in-depth study on human trafficking was conducted. She, however, says significant efforts and sufficient resources are needed to implement recommendations made in the plan. On his part, Attorney General Sekeus Shangala called on participants to work together and find new partners.
Many Namibians are potentially the subject of trafficking, but because we have specific crimes for forced labor and forced prostitution, or these activities are probably being reported as those activities and not as human trafficking. So as a country, we always are surprised when we're doing nothing or we're doing very little. This workshop will then help us identify how we speak one common language.
Trainers in the criminal justice sector are receiving skills that they will impart to hundreds of police officers, prosecutors, immigration officers, social workers, and labor inspectors across the country.